The following program is a special presentation of Lacrosse Sports Network.
You wanted live lacrosse? We've got live lacrosse. It's the 5-star elite class of 2023 All-Star Game coming up in moments right here live on Lacrosse Sports Network. The stage is set at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, as some of the most talented recruits in the class of 2023 are getting ready as we speak. Meanwhile, back here in the studio, I'm Tom Eschen on the call, taking you through this one tonight. I'll be joined by one of this weekend's event organizers and Lacrosse Hall of Famer, Dave Cottle. He's there on site, ready to provide his perspective on the talent on the field as the night goes on. But first, let's unveil the legends on the sidelines. Richie Mead leading one of the teams out there today in the All-Star Game. Mead, the former head coach of the U.S. men's national team, was the 2004 NCAA Coach of the Year while with Navy, where he was the two-time Patriot League Coach of the Year as well. He started Furman's lacrosse program back in 2013. He's the head coach of Team White. His counterpart, the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Famer Don Zimmerman, who won 3 NCAA championships with Johns Hopkins back in the mid-1980s, then took over the UMBC program in '94, where he was a 3-time America East Coach of the Year. If you need to know the magnitude of this event, just check out the other names that have been coaching these athletes throughout the day. Former Navy coach Rick Sewell, one of the 3 coaches to guide 3 different D1 teams to an NCAA tournament. Coach Cottle, assisted by former Culver head coach John Posner. Spencer Ford, the current head coach of Major League Lacrosse's Philly Barrage, and former MLL veteran as well. You see him up there. Some longtime assistants under Coach Petro at Hopkins also involved here as well. So they're getting set in Bradenton, Florida as we speak. We'll get you out for face-off in just a moment, live here on Lacrosse Sports Network. Face-off coming up in just moments at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. A day of action on the field culminating in what should be a highlight-filled affair for the best recruits in the class of 2023. It all started with 150-plus athletes divided into 6 teams paired down to 2 squads who are going to battle for the title in just moments. And let's take a look here at the squads today as we bring in Coach Dave Cottle. And Coach, as we take a look at some of these rosters, starting off with Team Black, headed up by Don Zimmerman. Coach, you saw these guys play all day long. You know them pretty well. Who should we watch? Who sticks out from here?
Well, the one player, Owen Duffy, was outstanding today from St. Anthony's, Team 91, just an outstanding player. Matthew Hahn, Julian Target was outstanding, and there's a lot of really good players on both teams.
Absolutely, Coach. As we look at the sort of the back end of Team Black here, we go over to Team White. Team White, Coach, from this list of gentlemen, who do you see?
Well, McCade Millen, one of the top attackmen in the country. You know, Mark Millen's son is an outstanding player. Colin Burns, another outstanding player. Nate Cabarry, who for the DC Dogs from Episcopal High School in Virginia, is really an outstanding kind of a invert midfielder. He can really, you know, he makes you have to slide to him. And I thought the goalies were very impressive so far in today's action.
For sure, and we will take a look at the goalies as time goes on. And these kids, as we know, earned these spots here today. As we mentioned, they played in a couple games today, went through some workouts this morning as well. So here we go. It's Sean Crater in white and Jackie Weller in black to take the first face-off here of the 5-star elite class of 2023 All-Star Game, live here on Lacrosse Sports Network. Here we go. The opening whistle and a nice battle here to start. It is Jackie Weller out of Potomac, Maryland, of DC Dogs, winning the first face-off of the battle. Pacing-wise, Coach, we saw a couple games already today. What should we expect here? I know it's an all-star game, so obviously a little bit of fun too.
Well, it's a 60-second shot clock, which is new for these kids rather than the 80 that's in college. And when you get a reset, it's 80. So it's a much quicker game, and you see a lot of end-of-possession shot clock where kids have to go to the goal.
Here is Owen Duffy working from X. Gets it over there to the middle to Haggerty. On the outside, to Vital. as they do work pretty deep in the shot clock, as Coach had mentioned. This is Julian Targett up top. He drives down the alley to the right, now to X. And we do have a whistle and a flag early on. Targett shoots there, goes top left, scorer, and Team Black is on the board. Julian Targett out of Boston, Massachusetts.
Well, he's an impressive athlete, 6'3", 6'4", quick, fast, improving every day out here. And he wound up taking and carrying his guy behind and comes all the way around and shoots a great shot. He has probably been physically the most impressive guy to watch.
Absolutely. Targett, an IMG Academy kid, so obviously he's pretty comfortable playing on this field here today. Like you mentioned, Coach, 6'3", 176, and you saw at the end of the shot clock, they gave him the ball and let him do what he could with it. So pretty impressive job there as Annunziata wins the ensuing faceoff here for Team White and see their first possession of the day.
Now, they are a man down, so there's going to be a little trouble clearing and a little more pressure on them because it was a 1-minute foul when Julian was dodging. So they still got to kill some time before they can wind up going to the goal.
So a key face-off there for Team White and Annunziata out of Huntington, New York. So they will take their time here, and obviously also keeping in mind the time on the clock. 60-second shot clock, as you mentioned, Coach. We'll have standard face-offs throughout, 12-minute running quarters until the last 2 minutes of the second and the fourth quarter. That's when they'll stop the clock pending gameplay. Here's Ethan Rubenstein being aggressive there. He shoots. Looked like the goalie Casey Heath tried to back it up, but he loses the race to the end line. Nice pass up there off the restart, and it's a shot scored. J.J. Aiello ties it up 1-1.
Well, there was a situation with the offense that the white team's running. They're cutting one of their two guys from behind the goal, and they almost cut both of them, and the goalie almost ran it out, and instead they wound up scoring late in the shot clock. And Aiello, another Team 91 guy, got to the middle of the field, and it was an outstanding shot over Casey Heath's shoulder.
J.J. Aiello out of Bayport, New York, Bayport Blue. So scoring quickly and often here so far, which is what you like to see out of a live lacrosse game on Saturday night in the state of Florida. Right around 64 degrees, 65 degrees right down there, Coach. Pretty beautiful day, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we were lucky. It was 75 most of the day and not too hot. But, right now the face-offs look like they're split. White's putting two men out there. And these kids, there's only one face-off guy on every team at this event. So they take 20, 30 face-offs in a game. So this is their third game of the day. Having two of the All-Star games is a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point to make. And we'll see how the legs shape up here as you see Ben Beecham running out of the box, though thwarted by the Black defense. And it's McCabe Millen, our first look at him here at working from X. Gets a screen from Rubenstein. That feed up top deflected, and we are running the other way. Brody Upton in transition, unsettled. Upton shoots, goes bottom left, 2-1 Team Black. How about that for Upton going coast to coast?
Well, the great part about the play is he was adjacent to the ball, and as an adjacent defender you're supposed to get in the skip lane between the pass. He actually got his stick in the skip lane, knocked it to the ground, and this is what the shot clock creates, is transition opportunities, especially when you turn the ball out by the restraining line.
What do you think of a kid like Upton there, in the middle of the field, a couple of sweet fakes, and then put that in a pretty good spot, right?
Yeah, great location, great speed. That's a college goal.
Will Roberts wins the ensuing face-off, so Team Black with an opportunity once again here as we make our way through the first quarter here at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. As Team Black settles in, coached by Don Zimmerman, 2017 U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Famer. That one off the pipe. Haggerty with the shot, just not close enough.
Well, it's interesting, too, is if you notice the defenseman on the other side of the line, a little-known rule to most people that watch it is a defenseman on the other side can be the closest guy when a shot hits the pipe and goes out of bounds. And they had two players that were close to it, but 41 for the Black team was very close to it. so you can actually get the ball back with a defenseman on the other side of the line.
And that ensues with another possession. There was a little bit of unsettled situation there, but Black comes out with it. Here's Fairmender. Slide to the top there that time by Matt Christmas. Here's Haggerty once again. Haggerty's had the ball on his stick a lot. Feeds behind the cage there to Duffy. Owen Duffy, first time seeing him out of St. Anthony's. Coach mentioned at the top of the broadcast, one of the players to watch on Team Black. Feeds to the middle, Ayers. That one bounces off a white defender. Talon Livingston getting in front of that one. Under 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter in Florida. Nice job there by Ethan Rubenstein in the clearing game. Millen shoots, saved by Casey Heath.
Well, you find that Casey's an outstanding player. I get to see him all the time in the Indianapolis area. But, these kids, they're soft right now, but they kind of missed their 90 years. It's just a great opportunity for them to get back at it, and we're very fortunate to get this in this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. With this event, like you said, Coach, a chance to be in the spotlight as they approach what will be next year, their sophomore year of high school. And in that right now, obviously, as they get ready for the main recruiting moments of their lives. And this is a big step towards that. Aiello gets inside. That one bounces past the cage and goes out of play. It stays here with Team White.
Yeah, Aiello's just a big, strong lefty who went underneath. And if you notice, both of these teams are running kind of picks to get to the middle of the field, because in college, middies down the alley shoot about 23%. But if you can get your shots off from the middle of the field, your shooting percentage goes up to about 30. So both teams trying to get to the middle of the field against these top caliber goalies.
Looked like a reset there of the shot clock. They say it was on cage, and the shot clock running once again. 4 minutes to play here in the first, 45 on the shot clock. And it's Team White who will settle in to their offensive set. The Aiello initiating from the top. Here's Rubenstein. Looking once again for maybe a mismatch, as Aiello does have a shorty on him as a midfielder. Team White taking their time here.
10 on the shot clock right now.
10 on the shot clock. Who do they go to? It's Millen. Millen, as time winds down, he's gonna have to get a shot off here quick. Millen shoots just wide of the pipe, and it'll go the other way. So nothing doing, a nice possession there for Team Black for the full shot clock and then some.
Well, you see Team Black brings the midi down to help clear it, and rather than try to have stick work it out with the poles. We used to call that in the old days a punt return out of there.
Special teams.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Julian wound up doing.
Gets it over to Hahn, as now Team Black will get it behind goal line, extended with a flag down. It's Duffy. It's Duffy eyeing his way in and gets it back out, as Team Black will take their time, as we have the second flag of the day here on Team White. Here's Hunter Chauvette surveying.
And you're going to see it's a little hard for them to get some leverage, because they have too many men on the field right now playing defense. There's 7 of them out there.
So Team White just kept the other man there on defense while they'll wait for the penalty. And we had a shot clock violation, but it'll stay here anyway.
Yeah, it'll be an extra man for White. White's coached by Richie Meade, obviously the Hall of Famer. Mike Murphy, an outstanding coach at Colgate and also in the PLL, great defensive coach. And Spencer Ford is the offensive coach for the White team right now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the coaches pregame of who these kids were getting some tutelage from over the course of the day. I mean, that shows you like what this means, the importance of this event, and obviously all those coaches invested. Obviously you and Coach Petro putting this together, Coach Cotto obviously probably was a point of emphasis. They're right on the doorstep. A fake high, then going low. Owen Duffy scores 3-1. Team Black on top. Owen Duffy, the third goal of the day here for Team Black, the St. Anthony's product, giving Black a 3-1 lead. We'll take a short break. Be right back. 3-1 Team Black here in Bradenton, Florida, as we saw Owen Duffy right before that commercial break score on a man-up situation for Team Black. And he interrupted what I was teeing up for Coach Cotto when we were talking about just the array of coaches and just the minds in lacrosse and obviously the experience they had coming in and why that was so important for you, Coach Cotto and Coach Petro, to put that together.
Well, lacrosse at times has become AAU basketball a lot, where they just play a lot of games, and we feel like let's get some of the top players. They've lost a season. Let's try to get the best coaches out there to work with them, and we can really create a great event. And we've been very fortunate. It's worked exactly how we planned to have it done, and the kids are getting coached, and they like being coached, and that's the most positive.
Well, and that also does it for the first quarter here. We had about 35 seconds on the replay, and Team White decided to let the clock run out. So we'll see what happens when we begin the second quarter. 1 quarter in the books here at IMG Academy. 3-1 Team Black here on Lax Sports Network. Welcome back to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida for some live lacrosse here on a Saturday night. Team Black leading Team White 3-1 here at the 5-star Elite Class of 2023 All-Star Game on Lax Sports Network. Tom Eschen here on the call with Dave Cottle on site, one of the people running this event, and he's done such a good job so far and obviously over the course of the day, and now joining us for the broadcast as he was able to coach some of these kids today as well and knows these guys pretty well too. So Coach Cottle on the call as we begin the second quarter. It's Weller winning this face-off, and pretty even with face-off so far, 3-3. Black does have a man-up goal. We just saw it a few minutes before the end of the first quarter. Owen Duffy on the doorstep. 3 different goal scorers for Team Black. It's Duffy, Targett, and Upton. And you'll see them now going the opposite end of the field here at IMG Academy. Here's Targett once again. Finds some space, hands free, and a save there in the cage by Ben Johnson. Saw it all the way in.
Yeah, he's got excellent size, great hands, and he's going to be an outstanding goalie. And, you know, this is a beautiful grass field here, and the kids are flying up and down it right now.
Yeah, here's that look at the Johnson save, high to high there out of Peoria, Illinois. Looked like we had an offsides call there on the transition opportunity. Something you'll see sometimes in these all-star games, or, you know, still just trying to figure out substitutions and whatnot. So that'll happen on both sides of the equation. So far, pretty clean so far. A couple flags on Team White, but other than that, had some decent offensive sets. Here's Ayers trying to see if he can find a crack. Instead, they'll work from X. There's the slide on the way in for Mender. Still gets a shot off somehow, and they do have it backed up with Jacob Todd.
You have 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
Here is Todd. Tasked with getting one off before it expires. Nice check there, though, on the inside. Quentin Kilrain. The defenseman out of Purcellville, Virginia with the takeaway here, getting it back to Team White. A little trouble there in transition.
Yeah, a little late sub. Did work out well.
It'll go back to Team Black. And as we make our way here through the second quarter of play, just good to note that the players, COVID-wise, they were all required to have negative COVID tests coming in, masks required at all times when they're not playing, and there has been temperature checks for the participants throughout the weekend as well. So doing this and doing it as safe as possible here in these unprecedented times, and giving these kids an opportunity at the same time to show their stuff here in the class of 2023.
Yeah, it's a real struggle trying to get this thing and do it right, and but the kids, they all bought in. In fact, we had the reason why I coached today is because we had a coach who failed his COVID test, and so they asked me if I would step in and help, and I did.
How did that feel to get back behind the sideline there for some new faces, right?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be riding a golf cart telling everybody how good they were. Instead, I spent 4 hours yelling at everybody.
We'll hear from Coach Petro at halftime. He got to do that today.
He got behind the defense here.
It's Dabbs, hands free, but another shot saved there by Heath.
The more you watch the Juniors Open, the other events, the goalies are really good. And if you just take normal shots, you're not going to score.
There's another open shot and another save there by Heath. How about Casey Heath? Really nicely done.
Casey Heath is he plays at Kent County High School, public high school, right over the Bay Bridge in Maryland, and he's been a really good goalie to watch for the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's been good so far here for the first couple minutes, couple quarters of play. Favorite pro in his questionnaire, he said, was Jacob Stover, former Loyola goalie. It was fun to watch, especially during the Pat Spencer days.
Yeah, no question. Ooh.
Struggle there to get it on the inside for Furmender, as White was draped all over him and the shot missed, and coming out with it that time is Cole Eschheim.
Yeah, he not only did he get a good ground ball, but he rolled to the outside, went to his weak hand, and moved the ball along. It was a really outstanding play as they now throw it away.
Yeah, some trouble in the clearing game here at the beginning of the second for Team White, giving Black some opportunities here. But so far, we talked so much about Casey Heath. Ben Johnson doing a nice job, as Black's had a lot of possession here so far.
Yeah, there's the tough thing about when you're coaching an all-star game or coaching in a tournament like this is you cannot defend a broken clear, and so you got to work on clearing, and it just isn't something that you put as a priority list to get ready to play in after 45 minutes of practice.
There's only so many things you can do, right?
Yep.
Another save there by Johnson, as White will, as you can see, work to clear it. As Team Black works on the ride, and we have a flag there, that time on Furmender.
Yeah, big, strong kid. I think he played with one hand off the stick and might have pulled him down a little bit. White needs this extra man right now. They're on a tipping point if they don't get one soon. And Spencer Ford is an outstanding offensive coach. You'll see him. You'll see him right here. You see he gets caught with one hand on a stick and kind of pulls him to the ground. You'll see Spencer may do something out of a 2-3 to a 3-3 because it's hard to cut. And right now they're lined up in a 2-3 with two men up top, three across, and one behind. So this is a big extra man.
Yeah, so let's see what Ford dials up, the head coach of the Major League Lacrosse Philly Barrage. As they'll work it around and look for an opening here in this Team Black defense, only allowing one goal so far. A little too quick to shoot. It gets by Schute's stick. Picking it up, who else? Julian Targett. So that's it for the man-up situation.
Yeah, he's a very athletic kid.
One man clear, right?
Yeah, he's going to be on the top guys recruiting list. I can tell you that right now.
I think he just gave you his tape right there. I mean, we saw him score a goal earlier today, but I mean, he was the ground ball, the clear, the whole 9 yards there for Targett, going about 50 yards. In a version of the shot clock lacrosse game, a guy who can play both ends of the field and run like that is really valuable. Yeah, and then have the ball on his stick at the end of a shot clock, the beginning and the end. Talk about playing both ways. Here's Chauvette here.
He played a lot of attacks earlier today, and they thought he'd be really dangerous at midfield.
That pass forced there on the inside. Fight for the ground ball. We had a whistle there off the play. And the shot clock violation over to Team White. So despite the fact that Blacks dominated possession, Team White hanging in there, just down 3-1 here in the second.
I think they're all sides here. Take a look at this here.
Yep, there's the whistle right there. Coach Cottle's seen a game or two in his career.
Yeah, four guys across the midline. It's usually not a good thing.
A little frustration there on Team White. They'll figure things out. They'll get it dialed up, as you mentioned. Just a little bit of a learning curve here in the first half.
You know, you got Donnie Zimmerman and Bobby Benson and John Posner, really good coaches on the Black team too. Just really good people. That's what we wanted. We wanted top coaches, but great people and guys that are willing to coach and teach, and that's exactly what we got.
Graham Parker, the cause turnover, the takeaway. Then he gives it right back, though. Here comes Team Black in transition. Vermender gets into the middle to McClements. In the sea of White, somehow gets out of it, but then his shot stopped by Johnson. Maybe he was more open than he thought.
Those goalies are really good. You know, that wasn't an easy save. You know, the little different thing that we did with the shot clock being 60 rather than 80, and you only have 20 seconds to clear it over the midline. So we just to change it. We took the dive out of the game right now because we didn't want kids just diving and making contact with the goalie. And I think the rules have been pretty good for this week.
It's probably always an adjustment for high school kids when they're working with the shot clock and trying to figure that out. But this is a good time for them to sort of, and also for college coaches to see how they adjust to that.
Yeah, again, you see that little screen downward that allowed the midfielder to get leverage and get top side. They kind of shot it wide.
Here's Burns working over to the middle, a one-timer there into the middle, a shot and the score. Matt Burnham in the back of the net as Team White cuts the lead to 3-2. Burnham gets on the board. One more look as we take a break here from IMG Academy. 3-2, Team Black over Team White. Welcome back to Bradenton, Florida, here for the five-star elite class of 2023 All-Star Game as put on by Legendary Sports Group. Tom Eschen on the call here with Dave Cottle. White wins the face-off after just scoring a goal, looking for another. There's another shot put on cage by Millen. They've got it back up.
Real tough handle, but yeah, real tough handle by Millen. You know, White starting to win a couple face-offs early. Black kind of controlled the face-offs. It's, you know, it's funny watching this game from here is the helmets, the chrome helmets are flickering with every light. And it's kind of interesting to watch. The helmets have really been something the kids have been happy to get. And it just, we were going to give them to the All-Star team and just decided to give them to every kid who wound up participating.
That's unbelievable. That's incredible. Obviously a big coup for these kids as Black gets it in transition that time. Vital shots off the mark, but Black's got it backed up with Grayson McClements.
Yeah, Vital's been impressive as a short stick D-midi and his ability to go from defense to offense.
It'll be McClements at X. Looking for a couple Black cutters there in the middle, but gets it back out after the slide. It looked like for a second there might have had a chance, but ball bounces away a bit from Todd.
You know, that 5 yards up, 5 yards in, they call it the island. And when an attackman get to the island, now these defensemen want to get them off. You had two guys, one doubling from behind and one's trying to slide from the inside. So they don't like it when that attackman gets to the island because he really puts them at their mercy.
And we see a dodge there on the inside by Hahn, and it trickles just by the stick of Johnson. Team Black back on the board as Hahn scores his first of the day.
Well, Matthew plays for my team this week, or I coach his team, if you would, and I was impressed with his quickness and his ability to dodge and beat guys left and right hand. He's coming off a broken hand, so he hasn't spent a lot of time playing, but he has the quickness that he's going to be on everybody's radar for recruiting if he continues to improve.
Yeah, never easy to come off an injury, especially at a young age, but obviously he's got, as you mentioned, some time here as a class of 2023, a high school sophomore, and be able to improve, as you mentioned, now and get stronger. Obviously, you can learn some adversity there as well. 30 seconds to play here in the half. 4-2, Team Black looking to add one more.
I'm going to say Team Black holds it for the last shot here, just to try to take. It's 4-2 now, and the worst it'll be is 4-2.
Looks like that's what they'll do. Coached by the legendary Don Zimmerman. And it's Tarjett. Not much time left. The shot's high, and that whistle means we have 0.6, left here in the second. That's all right. Never mind. We're done. 0.6 isn't time to do anything anyway. That's it. Team Black leading Team White 4-2. We have 24 minutes in the books. 4 different goal scorers for Team Black on the day. Halftime here at IMG Academy on Lac Sports Network. The second half just about to get underway here at the Legendary Sports Group's 5-star elite class of 2023 All-Star Game. It's Team Black leading Team White 4-2. Before we get to the third quarter, let's take a look at how this all happened. And this game, Coach, started pretty quickly there. A couple goals right off the bat, courtesy of Julian Tarjett.
Yeah, transition goal. Look, very seldom you see a midi dodge out front and carry it all the way behind. And that's kind of an attackman shot. Very few middies can make a shot when they're jumping upfield, and he did a good job.
Yeah, we've seen Tarjett go up and down the field playing both ends pretty much all game long. And then we see here Owen Duffy there on the man-up situation for Team Black. And they dominated possession for a lot of this first half. Team White, on the other hand, sticking in there, 4-2.
Yeah, I thought they hung in there. I thought the Black got the better of the play, but the White has found a way to bull their necks and not get blown out right now.
So it is Team Black leading Team White 4-2 as we get ready to start this third quarter. Face-offs pretty much even there in that first half. I think it was even, 4-4. Black just 1 for 1 on the man-up situation. We haven't seen McCabe Millen get in the scorebook so far here, but we should mention, obviously, he's someone to watch here in the second half, Coach. The son of Mark Millen, the 3-time All-American at UMass, the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Famer, the whole 9 yards. He's been someone who's really stuck out here this summer, playing, obviously, under the shadow, I guess, emerging into his own right of his father and his mother, for good measure, Aaron Brown Millen, also a U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Famer, McCabe Millen.
No question. And he played up last year, and I like that. You know, you got a lot of kids that are playing down. He was playing with the 22s all summer, and I think it's really going to help him when it comes to his recruitment.
So we do start the third without a face-off, as Black is a man up with a penalty there towards the end of the second quarter. So it's Black starting off with possession. Here as we begin the third at IMG Academy on Lac Sports Network. Live lacrosse here on this Saturday night. It's Tarjett, one way outside. The save there by Ryan Williamson, getting tested early as he begins his night in the cage. Ben Johnson did a nice job there for Team White, making 4 saves. And now he turns things over to Ryan Williamson.
Yeah, Ryan played for our team. He's a member of the Titans, and he had an outstanding 2 games so far. The kids are, you know, for a goalie, not having to play a lot of lacrosse and then come to see shots like this, they've been up to the challenge.
There's a dodge from the top from Beach, and as you can mention, Coach, you know, seeing the best of the best. I mean, this has got to be a tough process for the goalies. Not many spots, you know.
Yeah, and it's sunny too. You know, you Massachusetts guys are used to the snow and everything like that, but these kids had to see a lot of sun in their eyes today.
I'm a New Yorker at heart, Coach. I know I live in Massachusetts now, but that doesn't sit right with me. You call me a Massachusetts guy. There's this nor'easter going through here where we are. Coach Cottle enjoying the sun down in Florida along with the kids, I'm sure, the last couple days. Here's Burns. Gets it out to Beecham.
There it is.
Beecham finds a step and scores. Ben Beecham out of Carlsbad, California. Team White cuts it to 1.
Well, just, you know, the ball got moving there a little bit. It got from one side and from one side of the field to the other. It came around from behind, and when they start having to approach you, and they don't take a good angle as they get tired of all the approaches of that possession, you get an easy one, and that was an easy one.
Ben Beecham, Midvey, 6'2", 175. He's a high school sophomore out of La Costa Canyon High School in Carlsbad, California. So some West Coast flavor here on the East Coast tonight.
The kids are from all over, Tom, at this event. They're from all over.
Yeah, I've got on my list here Virginia, Cleveland, Ohio, Massachusetts, Florida, Maryland, of course, as well. And like we just mentioned, Illinois, Florida, New York. You can see
Tom, I think there's 3 kids from 3D New England on the team, too.
Another one of the great lacrosse club programs in the country.
Yeah, Matt Rowley's a nice guy. Does a good job with his kids, and it's just impressive. The All-Stars come from all areas.
And like I'd mentioned back in the first half, everyone was required to have a negative COVID test, mask required at all times when not playing, temperature checks, and trying to keep things as safe as possible, while, as you mentioned, giving these kids an opportunity to show what they've got, and an opportunity they didn't really get in the spring. I mean, it was tough for anybody to get an opportunity in the spring to show the coaches what they have. So this is a big night for a lot of these kids too. A big day.
Yeah, well, there was a subtle little move made by Don Zimmerman and his staff. They pressed down on the end line, and so they had to throw the cross-field pass, and they weren't able to handle it. But they put all 3 attackmen across the bottom guys, took away a guy on the inside, and made him throw the cross-field pass, and they couldn't complete it.
Yeah, these coaches don't get much time with a lot of these kids. There's a nice feed and score. Grayson McClements.
Again, you're going to get a lot of 2-pass goals in this thing. You're not going to get a lot of individual goals. So here's a dodge, throw it to X, and then find a cutter. And that's how you're going to score in these goalies, not off the dodge as much as it is off the cut.
Yeah, nice job there for McClements out of Medfield, Massachusetts. We're just talking about 3D New England Red is where he plays his club ball. 6 foot 180. Took a nice feed and took advantage there. So Team Black answers Team White here at the start of the third. It's 5-3. That time it was Annunziata winning the faceoff, and his team as Matt Christmas comes up with the ground ball. Here comes the pull. Matt Christmas tries to bounce it in there. Couldn't get the job done, but close.
He was one of the most impressive guys.
And there you go. He sticks around.
Yeah, him and Target were the 2 big, strong, physical guys that I think are going to have an outstanding, be outstanding high school players and really could play it anywhere in the top level.
I mean, you talk about big and strong. Target at 6'3", 176. Christmas 6'4", 200. Nice takeaway there by Rubenstein off the ride.
I didn't know a whole lot about Rubenstein, but he's been very impressive tonight. He's got good quickness. He moves the ball. He dodges with his head up. He's a good player.
As they get it to Parker coming out of the box. Parker working on Target. A little fake there on the inside. Gets it out to Millen. See what Millen can dial up. Works his way across the middle. A nice feed there to Schultz. Schultz scores. Millen to Schultz, 5-4.
Again, when that ball's moving, they have to protect inside and then rush out and play. And the last couple goals have been on bad approaches defensively. And you'll see this. They dodge one side, throw it to the other side. That guy takes a bad approach and allows Parker to get top side. Parker's from DeMatha High School. And I think he's Billy Looney's nephew.
Oh, all right. So another young player cashing in. We'll take a break and be right back. Some back and forth action here in the third as Team Black holds a slim lead over Team White here on the ensuing face-off try, though. That is Jackie Weller winning it. Moving forward, Will Roberts now checking into the X, and he wins that face-off that time. 5-4, Team Black. As Team Black makes some substitutions. And that's an opportunity there for Aiden Bodani. And Aiden Bodani that caused turnover and the ground ball.
You know, this game is quietly tightened up a little bit. And White, White right now, if they keep throwing 2 passes, they got a chance to score and get back ahead in this game.
It feels like White has sort of figured things out. They had a couple of mistakes there in the first half, but it seems like they have really started to settle in. And they've gotten some good looks, I think, all game long. As we mentioned, Heath had to make some tough saves there in that first half.
Now they got to throw it again and dodge. Now it'll be harder to slide to him.
Here's Millen. That time, breaks his man down, the feet in front, but Burns couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that was an excellent look there.
But Millen gets it right back. Finds himself in the middle.
I'm sorry, Tom. I think McCabe's a really good player. You know, he's quickness. He dodges with his head up, and the game's important to him. And he's a guy who's really going to be able to kind of pick and choose where he wants to go.
And I mean, I think the fact that he even passed it there, he had a pretty good look in the middle, but he decided to give it up. Instead, it is Nate Kabiri who scores off the feed from Millen. White ties this thing up.
Yeah, Nate is a guy who played for the Annapolis Hawks last year. He's now playing in D.C. He played up also, so you're seeing a pattern. You know, nice cut here. He cuts to the inside, catches and turns to his strong hand and shoots it. But Nate played with the 22 Annapolis Hawks and now is in his real class, the 23. So, you know, you're seeing a pattern of guys playing up when they get to their classes. It's really helped them.
Absolutely can mature pretty quickly that way. And then once you play with some of the guys your own age, you can really see them stand out. Roberts wins that moving forward, though some troubles there on the pass. And the ball rolls out of bounds, back to Team White. So we've seen Team White take momentum here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I haven't felt like Black has had a meaningful possession in a while. You know, a 30 or 40-second possession. They're getting breaks, but they're not getting anything out of them. And all they're doing is turning the ball over.
A little bit of a scramble here right around midfield now, deep into Black territory. That one scooped up by Burns. Tough ground ball. Going White's way. It's Schultz here along the right side, moves his way from goal line extended to X. All tied up here, 5-5. Couple assists here for Millen in the last 2 goals for Team White. He's had the ball on a stick a little bit more here in the third quarter. This is Aiello. He's got a goal today. So does Beecham.
He's got to throw that ball forward quicker.
Gets it behind the cage to Burns. Burns finding himself free. Burns scores. Adds a goal to go along with an assist today, and White's got the lead for the first time all night.
Yeah, you could kind of feel like Black hasn't had some quality possessions, and the field's tilted in White's favor a little bit. But you know that they dodge from outside. This is what he kind of baits him a little bit to like he was going to roll back, and it helps him get topside. And they weren't ready to go there. That's a tough place to slide to when you beat them topside behind a goal.
Another face-off in for White. Here's Crater. Crater, hands free. That one's wide. Burns.
Yeah, he's a guy. Crater's a guy who played for our team again this weekend and has really battled. You know, he's a competitive kid, plays for Chris Roy at leading edge, and who is another real first-class guy. So this Crater, he's competitive and tough.
Here is Millen, U15 USA team co-captain. Under Armour All-American, all-tourney team in Baltimore as well. Will work his way from the top. Gets his hands free. That one deflected there, though, in front of the cage, but bounces right back to White. As Coach mentioned, it's the tilt. They're getting all the loose balls right here in the third quarter, and it's equated to a lead. 1 minute to play here in the third.
Kind of 18 seconds on the shot clock and 30 seconds on the clock. So this would be a good place to end to bury this ball down this end so Black can't get an easy transition one.
This is Greenspan. Greenspan finds a leg inside. He bounces that one, but that one is stopped by Wilson. The ball will go Black's way. So big stop there for Team Black. trying to stem the tide here in the final few seconds of the third quarter. It'll be Chauvette handling the clear and the final whistle. We head to the fourth. It's just a one-goal back-and-forth game, and a good one so far. 6-5, Team White on top. McKay Millen, a couple of assists. Colin Burns, 2 points as we head to the fourth here on Lac Sports Network. To the fourth quarter we go here at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. We're live with the five-star elite class of 2023 All-Star Game on Lac Sports Network. I am Tom Eschen on the call with Dave Cotto there on site, providing our analysis all game long. Good one so far now. Team White clawing their way back, taking a 6-5 lead as we head to the fourth and winning the face-off here.
All the settled possessions have gone to White in the last 10 minutes of game time, and Black needs to just settle down and let everybody touch the ball and then play.
And the possessions have been efficient ones for Team White, it seems. They've gotten some good looks at the cage. Rubenstein, a nice dodge there. Working his way on the inside. He's free, and he scores with a flag. We'll see what that flag is. I believe they do award it a goal by the celebration for Ethan Rubenstein out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Team White, 2-goal advantage.
Well, you know, they've been going to the middle of the field off the pick, and this time he goes under the pick and works his way back to a strong hand. And we call that refusing the pick and going under. And if they double him, the guy who set the pick just steps right back out and throw it back to him, but nobody doubled him, and it allowed him to get back to a strong hand.
So it is Ethan Rubenstein, the attackman, goes to the Taft School in Connecticut currently, also part of Sweet Lacs, Florida, giving Team White a 2-goal advantage. So they took the lead at the end of the third, and now with a 2-goal advantage here in the fourth. Battle here by Crater. Nice scoop there, though, by Will Roberts. That's a big face-off win for Team Black, and Roberts goes to the cage, but that's stopped by Williamson.
If most of the shots that the Black team has gotten are off a transition. So they, you know, if they get a goal, it's great, but what's happening is they're getting a shot, the goalie's making a save, and then they don't see the ball for another couple minutes. So unfortunately for them, they're getting a transition.
Here we see Team White once again settling into their offensive set. Aiello finds his hands free. And you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Coach, about Spencer Ford, and obviously it's working, what they're trying to do and accomplish on the offensive end.
Yeah, they have got to move this ball and get it to both sides of the field, make the defense have to turn their heads and locate, you know, who's going to help and who's not, and the possessions have been much cleaner here.
Torgler with some good defense there on Millen. That ball bounces, doesn't go out though, as Rubenstein, once he gets inside, tiptoes through the crease, and finally gathering it is Wilson. That one on the precipice of another White goal. Now we get to see Targett, the one-man clear. Playing on his home turf here at IMG Academy. Targett originally out of Boston, Massachusetts, so he takes care of the clear, and here is that set that Team Black's been looking for the last few minutes here.
It's going to be a good matchup watching Matt Christmas against Targett, because they are the two big, strong kids that were visibly noticeable physically.
Here's Furmender. Furmender played there by Donnie Scott. Battle continues. The shot is wide, backed up there by Black.
It doesn't matter if it's all-star games at 2023 level or the PLL or the MLL. If you hold the ball and shoot it, the goalie has a better chance of making a save than he has of making a save off a catch. And they've become very, one-on-one oriented in what they're trying to do.
That isolation ball a little bit more on the Team Black side, whereas on Team White we've seen a little bit more sharing here over the last half.
Here's a clearing mistake. Here's a clear mistake, Tom. They just need a break, and they need to get a goal to settle down here. Having a broken clear now, in college lacrosse, you score about 25% of the time on second chances.
Jacob Todd takes advantage, goes top left corner and scores. Big goal there for Team Black. Stay in this thing.
Yeah, Jacob is, I know Jacob. He's from our Anne Arundel County area. He's a 3-sport varsity guy in the 9th grade.
Wow.
Just a really good athlete, good player, basketball, football, and lacrosse, and he's got a bright future.
So big goal there for Team Black and Jacob Todd at 7-6. Face-off one there going forward once again by Roberts. But a stop there on the inside by Williamson in the white defense. Coach, how tough?
That's a big stop there.
I mean, you had 150-plus kids in 6 teams. When you divided these teams up, how difficult was that?
Well, you wanted to make them fair. You don't want 10-1 games or anything like that. So, we wanted if every game could have been a 1-goal game, we would have been happy with it. And so Coach Petro spent a lot of time making sure team got a lefty, got a righty, and we didn't stack the teams. And the game showed that.
This one has shown it too. So you did a good job with the All-Star game. Good play there on the defensive end by Team Black. And the ball does get out to the midfield section.
This will be the 3rd broken clear in the last 3 minutes of time right now. And this is where the white team got in trouble to start the game, is they didn't clear the ball first time. So this is they can get Black right back in this game.
That's absolutely right. We saw that trend in the first half, and it seems like the Blacks also turned up the pressure on the ride here as we've turned the chapter to the 4th. It's Vital. Scooped up eventually there by Haggerty. 5:36 to play here. 1-goal game. Haggerty back out to Vital. Vital eyeing the cage. They'll continue to work it around. Another set situation for Black. Can they take advantage of it? It's Duffy. Got a goal already today. Works his way to middle, bounces right to Upton. Upton swims inside, but too many white shirts in there. And ball turned over back to white, up 7-6.
They almost had a good possession. They got it behind. Bad approach. And just got it real tight quarters and just couldn't get it off.
And a good defensive possession there for Team White, too.
Yeah, Tom, we got a 1-goal game with under 5 to play.
Gotta love that. Competitive so far. Ben Beecham here along the right side, played by Nick Sims, LSM. And you see Team White once again, as I mentioned, coached by Richie Meade on the offensive end. It's Millen, fast to the cage. That one, though, was checked from behind, it appeared. That was a really nice play defensively. I didn't catch the number, but goes back to Wilson and back to Black. Zachary Brent the clear over the midline.
White went all sides on that ride.
And there's the whistle to correspond with Coach Cottle catching that. 4:11, 4:10 now, and below 2 minutes, the clock will stop on a whistle. So we're approaching that point here in the final stages of this battle here, the 5-star elite class of 2023 All-Star game.
Donnie Zimmerman for years has been such an outstanding extra man coach, and then you've got Bobby Benson helping him. Black's going to have something set up, that's going to put some pressure onto the white team. The white team did not play the ball behind very well the last time, and we'll see if that's a trend that's going to continue.
And you can see on the sidelines there, everyone dialing things up for this key possession, key man-up opportunity here for Team Black. Could be a turning point in this game. They do work it around. Tarjet on the top. That pass a little wide. Can they get it? Hahn does gather it up. Big ground ball there. Another flag here on Team White. So this will continue. That one knocked around. Bodoni.
Yeah, Tom, it's interesting. Is not every extra man player is created equally. Some guys are great shooters, but not good passers. Some guys are great passers, but not good shooters. So what you try to do is give them some rules, or in this case, in the 3-3, you try to give them skip buddies, because you don't want every guy to hold the ball and look for every pass. And so this is where Black's getting bogged down. Now everybody's trying to make the look that leads to the next goal rather than let the passers pass and the shooters shoot.
And at the end of the day, take what the defense gives you.
Got to get the ball to both sides one extra man.
Was a 6-on-4 for a moment there. Now back to a one-man up situation. That pass a little too wide. It'll go out of bounds. So Team White holds firm there in a big moment in this game as we approach 2 minutes to play. They lead by 1. Ooh, almost.
White again struggling a little bit with the clear.
This is where Black's been good on the ride and White struggled, so Black once again gets possession.
This game has the smell of overtime to me. Maybe it's just my shirt, but
it's been a long day, hasn't it? You've coached some games today. These kids too, I'd imagine right now they got to dig deep here, especially if you're Team Black, to try to tie this thing up.
Again, they got to get the ball moving to both sides.
Yeah, sort of just passing it around the top, and now it's Dabbs trying to track it down. Nice ground ball there by Rubenstein. Rubenstein tries to find his way inside. A couple of Black shirts there. Maybe he bit off a little more than he could chew. Good defense by Black in desperation mode. But so is White. Millen with a huge cause turnover here with 70 seconds to play. And it looks like we do have a timeout here for Team White, and a good timeout at that by Richie Meade. So we'll take a break as well. 68 seconds to play here at IMG Academy on Lacrosse Sports Network. 70 seconds to go here at IMG Academy. Tom Eschen here alongside Coach Dave Cottle. It's 7-6 Team White. Just called a timeout. A good one there by Richie Meade, as now Team Black goes into desperation mode as it's Millen, McCabe Millen here taking care of the Black defense so far. And you get to see a little bit of his versatility and his speed and his talent as he spins some circles around this defense, Coach.
Yeah, he has just got himself in trouble. that was 3 outstanding guys that just push it. Now Black gets to run in transition. And
yeah, this is big in transition. 40 seconds to play. Targett works his way to the middle. Targett, good save there. There's a rebound. Flipped up in the air, and a nice scoop there by Ryan Williamson on the floater.
How can a goalie?
Big job there by Ryan Williamson to not only get the first one, but the second one too, floating over his cage. 19 seconds to play. Team White here in offensive territory. 7-6. Team White on top. 10 seconds to play. And it looks like with 5 seconds to play, it will be Team White coming from behind here in the second half and getting the job done. 7-6, beating Team Black here in the 5-star elite class of 2023 All-Star game. We'll take a quick break and then reveal the All-Star top 5, get the final thoughts from Coach Cottle after this here on Lacrosse Sports Network. Welcome back here to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Tom Eschen and Coach Dave Cottle wrapping things up. Team White winning 7-6 over Team Black, and the 5-star elite all-star top 5 just revealed. And these are the best 5 players over the course of today's game. Sean Creeder, the face-off man, went 4 of 5. Matt Christmas on the defensive end there for Team White as well. Julian Targett winning the MVP award. You saw how dominant he was. Owen Duffy, who had a goal on the day and an assist as well for Team Black, alongside Ben Beecham, who had a goal for Team White. Coach, I mean, obviously we saw a lot of talent here on the field today, including these top 5 players.
Yeah, no question. You know, when you look at Christmas and you look at Targett, they're physically dominating players. You know, Sean Creeder is a guy who just competed, I guess, 4 out of 5 in the face-offs when it mattered, and to come from behind win, and then Ben Beecham. So in an all-star game, it becomes the eye of the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I thought the goalies were outstanding. Myself, I thought there were some really good goalies in the game, but these what our coaches came up with, and we're gonna live with it.
Yeah, I mean, Casey Heath in that first half, he was in the cage for Team Black. I think it was a big reason why Team Black had a 4-2 lead going into the second half. He was excellent in cage for Team Black as well. Coach, your final thoughts after what was an eventful day there at Bradenton, Florida and IMG Academy?
This was everything we hoped it to be. We wanted to bring back an elite event with elite players and elite coaches, and we couldn't be happier. And we couldn't be happier to partner up with LSN on this. You really made our event special, and we'd love to thank you guys. And hopefully, we'll be in a partnership for a long time.
Yeah, obviously the inaugural here 5-star elite class of 2023 All-Star game at IMG Academy. A good one for sure. A back-and-forth close battle throughout. Won by Team White, 7-6 over Team Black. Live lacrosse on a Saturday doesn't get much better than that, and that game doesn't get much better than that either. For the rest of our team here at LSN, I am Tom Eschen for Dave Cottle. Thank you so much for watching. Good to have lacrosse back. We'll see you next time.